Welcome to News Edge, your sharpest source for daily headlines and deep dives. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. A quiet but powerful shift is underway on the world stage. The global balance of power, once thought to be set in stone, is now showing signs of transformation. The BRICS group, once a club for emerging economies outside the Western sphere, is now drawing interest from the heart of Europe. What began as a coalition of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa has evolved into a magnet for countries seeking new alliances. This isn't just a headline, it's a turning point in global alliances. The world is witnessing a realignment that could reshape international relations for decades to come. The established order, long dominated by the US and its European allies, is being challenged in new and unexpected ways. The old certainties are fading, replaced by a sense of possibility and uncertainty. BRICS's recent expansion, including Saudi Arabia and Iran, has boosted its economic and geographic reach. With these additions, the group now represents a significant share of the world's population, resources, and economic output. Now, with EU nations expressing interest, BRICS is poised to cross a symbolic threshold, bringing its influence into a continent seen as a bastion of Western unity. Countries like Hungary and Serbia are openly exploring closer ties, signaling a potential shift in Europe's geopolitical landscape. Why now? For years, the EU promised stability and prosperity. Its institutions were seen as the gold standard for economic growth and democratic values. But some members are questioning if Western-led institutions are still the only path to success. Economic challenges, political divisions, and shifting global priorities have led to growing doubts. This signals growing dissatisfaction with the status quo and a search for alternatives. Citizens and leaders alike are looking for new ways to secure their futures in an unpredictable world. The implications are immense, touching global trade, finance, diplomacy, and security. If more European countries join BRICS, the ripple effects could be felt across every continent. Will this lead to a more fragmented Europe or a more balanced world? Could it spark new divisions or foster greater cooperation between East and West? Could BRICS become a true counterweight to the G7, or will new tensions emerge within the group? The answers remain uncertain, but the stakes are higher than ever. The world is watching as Europe's response, and BRICS's next moves, set the stage for a new chapter in global power. Every decision made now will echo far into the future. To understand this moment, we need to look at all the pieces. Only by examining the shifting alliances and emerging interests can we grasp the true significance of BRICS knocking on Europe's door. At the center of this significant geopolitical shift are Hungary and Serbia, two countries whose ambitions are reshaping the balance of power in Europe. Hungary, a long-standing member of both the EU and NATO, has recently and quite openly signaled its interest in joining BRICS, an extension of Prime Minister Viktor Orban's Eastern opening policy, which aims to diversify Hungary's alliances beyond the West. For Hungary, joining BRICS would be a bold and controversial move, even if it means risking or straining its relationships with traditional Western partners and institutions. Serbia, meanwhile, is an EU candidate country, but it too is exploring BRICS as a strategic hedge, seeking to balance its aspirations for EU membership with alternative partnerships. With deep historical ties to Russia and major Chinese investment pouring into its infrastructure, Serbia is sending a clear message to Brussels: we have options, and we're not afraid to use them. Both countries have grown increasingly frustrated with what they perceive as the EU's rigid, one-size-fits-all approach to policy and integration, which often overlooks their unique national interests. The BRICS bloc's principle of non-interference and respect for national sovereignty is highly attractive to leaders in Budapest and Belgrade who are seeking more autonomy and flexibility in their foreign policy. Hungary has already demonstrated its willingness to chart its own course, blocking EU statements critical of China and Russia on several occasions, and was the first EU country to approve and import Russian and Chinese COVID vaccines, defying Brussels' recommendations. Serbia, for its part, has maintained close and active ties with both Moscow and Beijing, deepening economic and political cooperation. It has consistently refused to join Western sanctions against Russia, even under significant pressure from the EU and the US. These moves have laid the groundwork for a potential pivot toward BRICS, signaling a major shift in their foreign policy orientation. Their interest in BRICS isn't sudden or impulsive, it's the culmination of years of careful strategic reorientation and calculated diplomatic maneuvering. For both Hungary and Serbia, BRICS offers not just leverage in negotiations with the West, but also a real chance to chart their own independent course on the world stage. This is a calculated, long-term play, one that could redefine their roles in both Europe and the broader global order. To understand the growing appeal of BRICS on the world stage, let's take a closer look at what this alliance actually is, and why it's capturing so much attention from countries around the globe. The term BRICS was first coined in 2001 to describe the emerging economies of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. What started as an economic concept became a real-world alliance in 2009, when these four countries came together to form a formal group. South Africa joined soon after, expanding the bloc and giving it a truly global reach. BRICS was founded with a bold vision, to create a more balanced and fair global order. The group aims to challenge the dominance of Western-led institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which have long set the rules of global finance and development. To achieve this, BRICS established its own institutions, such as the New Development Bank. This bank funds infrastructure and development projects across member countries and beyond, often with fewer political or economic conditions than those imposed by Western lenders. Unlike many Western organizations, where decisions are often based on financial power, BRICS operates on consensus. Every member has an equal say, regardless of their economic size, which fosters a sense of partnership and mutual respect. The alliance is built on core principles: sovereignty, equality, and non-interference in each other's internal affairs. These values are central to how BRICS operates and are a key part of its identity. This approach is especially attractive to countries that are wary of Western political conditions or interventions, and who want to maintain their independence while still engaging in global cooperation. In 2024, BRICS expanded further, welcoming Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Iran, and Ethiopia. With these new members, BRICS now represents nearly half the world's population and rivals the G7 in economic weight, making it a truly formidable force. BRICS is no longer just an alternative to Western alliances, it's rapidly becoming a major power center in its own right, shaping the future of global politics and economics. For countries like Hungary and Serbia, joining BRICS offers a unique platform to increase their influence, diversify their partnerships, and access new opportunities for growth and cooperation. That's why these nations are eager to become part of the BRICS alliance, seeing it as a gateway to a more multipolar and inclusive world order. What's pulling Hungary and Serbia toward BRICS? Economic opportunity tops the list. BRICS nations are fast-growing markets, offering access to Chinese manufacturing, Indian tech, Brazilian agriculture, and Russian energy. The New Development Bank provides infrastructure financing with fewer conditions than Western lenders. Energy security is another driver. Russia remains a key supplier, and BRICS includes major energy producers. For leaders, this is about stable, affordable energy and pragmatic cooperation. Politically, both governments resent EU pressure on domestic policies and value BRICS's non-interference. BRICS offers a home for those who reject the EU's liberal values in favor of sovereignty. There's also the appeal of joining a rising power as the world shifts toward multipolarity. Hungary and Serbia want a seat at the table where new global rules are written. It's a strategic bet. Better to be a player in a rising bloc than a dissenter in an old one. They see BRICS as the future. An EU member joining BRICS is a monumental challenge for Brussels. Hungary would have a foot in two rival camps, NATO and the EU on one side, BRICS on the other. This creates a conflict of interest that could paralyze EU decision-making, especially on foreign policy. Hungary already uses its veto to block EU actions against Russia and China. As a BRICS member, this could escalate. The EU's unity and credibility would be at risk. For Serbia, flirting with BRICS contradicts its EU accession commitments and could undermine the EU's strategy in the Balkans. Brussels faces a dilemma: take a hard line and risk pushing these countries further away, or go soft and risk encouraging more dissent. The EU must balance upholding its principles with keeping its family together. The stakes are high and the path forward is fraught with risk. Europe's response will shape its future. European members would fundamentally change BRICS's identity. BRICS has been an alliance of the global south. Hungary's entry would shatter that image. The bloc would need to redefine itself. Is it for developing nations or any country dissatisfied with the Western order? European members would boost BRICS's legitimacy, showing its appeal reaches into the West. They'd bring insights into the EU and NATO, helping BRICS counter Western policies. But new members could also introduce divisions. Hungary and Serbia's interests may clash with China, India, or Brazil. India, for example, is wary of an overtly anti-Western BRICS. Expansion could dilute the group's original mission to champion the developing world. The challenge grow bigger without losing focus or effectiveness. BRICS must balance diversity with unity. The economic stakes are high. Hungary and Serbia want to diversify trade beyond the sluggish Eurozone, tapping into BRICS markets and securing energy deals. But EU sanctions on Russia create a direct conflict. Hungary can't sanction Russia and partner with it in BRICS. This contradiction could force Hungary to choose between BRICS and the EU. BRICS aims to reduce reliance on the US dollar with talk of a common payment system or new reserve currency. For Hungary and Serbia, this could mean more financial independence. But challenging the dollar is a massive task, requiring trust and coordination among very different economies. If Hungary joins de-dollarization efforts, it risks a major rift with the US and EU. The move would be seen as a direct challenge to the Western-led financial order. The economic realignment could reshape global finance, but not without serious risks. The stakes couldn't be higher. Hungary and Serbia's BRICS ambitions are classic geopolitical maneuvering. By courting BRICS, they gain leverage with the West. Serbia to speed up EU accession, Hungary to assert independence. This is a win for Russia and China, who seek to weaken Western unity. Bringing an EU and NATO member into BRICS would be a strategic coup, sowing discord in Europe. For the US, this is a direct threat to alliance cohesion and influence. Washington will pressure both Hungary and the EU to prevent this shift. The world is moving toward true multipolarity. Countries now have more choices than just East or West. Hungary and Serbia are pursuing multi-vector foreign policies, building ties with all major powers. This creates uncertainty but also gives smaller nations more agency. The global chessboard is being reset. As this story unfolds, watch for the BRICS response. Will all members welcome European applicants? The next BRICS summit will be pivotal, setting the bloc's future direction. Also watch Brussels and Washington. Will the EU punish Hungary or seek compromise? How will it handle Serbia? The unity of the EU and NATO will be tested. Domestic politics matter too. Many in Hungary and Serbia remain pro-European, and public backlash could shift government policy. If Hungary or Serbia joins BRICS, will others follow? A domino effect could reshape Europe. The continent could become more fragmented and competitive. The world is at a crossroads, with old certainties fading. Decisions in Budapest, Belgrade, Brussels, and BRICS capitals will have global consequences. The new world order is being forged before our eyes.